All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Breaking Free podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Francis. Today, grateful, humble, Scott. Welcome back for a fourth, is it fourth time, third time,
Third or fourth, can't
third or
remember.
fourth. What's
Yep.
been going on? How's things and what's been going on since our last conversation? Makes our last one was a good one too.
Yeah. It's probably been a year since our last one, hey. So probably has been close to, yeah, I think it was during the summer. So yeah, lots happened. I did my IMS level 2 this year with the Czech Institute,
What's IMS stand for, Matt?
Integrated Movement Science level 2.
Yep.
So just taking things to another level there, more assessments, more movement analysis. Um, yeah, just going a bit deeper into clients and motor engrams, which is essentially movement patterns in the brain. And when someone unconsciously says walk, how do they look? That's a motor engram. And you can have a motor engram for anything, like a golf swing or playing darts or hockey. There's a motor engram. So really any movement pattern you do at the gym is a form of a motor engram. And they say it takes 300 to 500 reps to create a motor engram, but it takes 3,000 to 4,000 reps to correct or alter a motor engram. Really, what that means is if you're learning something new, try and do it right from the word go, because it's way harder to correct a faulty movement pattern than to actually just learn it right from the beginning. So say you're doing a deadlift and you've built a really bad habit, it's gonna it's going to take a lot of work to actually undo it. But you can do it, and we learned some tricks. So it doesn't take you 3,000 or 4,000 reps. We learned some tricks to try and get deeper into the brain and make those changes quicker. Um, but yeah, that's really where I've been this year. Just deepening my work, and yeah. Other than that, on a personal level, been it's been a year of really going deep into myself and deepening my spiritual work. Had some challenges but yeah, quite profound, deep challenges this year, especially with a bit of insomnia, and anxiety. So
Okay.
yeah. And but I'll I've definitely come from what I feel out of it now. Yeah, happy to elaborate on what I've done to help
Yeah.
that.
Well, where did it come from? Has it always been there? And I guess like what was the trigger for it?
So insomnia is yeah, something that I first experienced when I was 19, and it's probably the thing that really pushed me down the whole of holistic health, because I realized that even back then that I was having a health issue to some level, right? Because there's so many things that can help it. Like you have the right nutrition and right vitamins on board that can help. Obviously, doing internal practices and learning how to control your mind can really help. Um, and exercise and lifestyle, getting enough sun exposure. So yeah, I used to deal with it a lot, got a lot better over time. I think when you have sleep issues, it feels like it's one of those things in the back of your mind all the time. But generally, yeah. But I think it was February, or maybe it was February. I just had one night. I think I just had so much going on in my mind. I was a bit stressed, and I just could not fall asleep, and I ended up having like a panic attack and didn't probably fall asleep till like 3:30 in the morning. And then it just started this insecurity I felt, I couldn't even have the confidence to fall asleep. It was so strange. It was really confronting, and a lot of fears came up. When that night, I suddenly had like images of like everything I had built falling away from me. So all these sort of things really came up that night, and it's taken me a lot of work to realize where how many attachments I had. I was really focused on the external world. I started dismissing my own internal work. Um, and I wasn't putting myself first. And I think it just shone a huge mirror on that. So this year I really had to put myself first, as much as I could. The biggest thing I've noticed though, honestly, has been the link with gut health and
Mm.
and sleep. So recently, I've been really getting deeper into fermenting foods, making kefir, more kombucha, um, and I've definitely noticed a huge difference in my mental state and my sleep. So when you actually look into fermented foods, they actually release GABA, and GABA is a neurotransmitter that helps the mind relax. So, something I learned even years ago with anxiety is often not a mental issue, it's more of a gut body issue. And the mind is built on the body. So you have to address the body first. So honestly, I think that's been probably the biggest things. I tried sleep supplements, I tried this and that, and it just didn't work. But now that I've gone really hard on really rich probiotic foods, it's made a massive difference. And sun exposure, I think, really, like you taught me, getting out in the sun 10, even minimum 10, 20 minutes a day if you can, has made a huge difference. And it makes sense because you're teaching your body that that it's daytime and it's helping your circadian rhythm. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I wear these glasses too, to block out the blue light in the computer. I think the light exposure in the house and in the gyms and inside is another layer to
Mm,
that light exposure because if you look back in the ancient times, mate, we were always outside, we were always exposed to the sun. We didn't have any of these fluorescent lights, LED lights. We didn't have
mm,
any of this stuff. So it's like going back to our primal ways of living.
yeah.
And these glasses help that. These ones are yellow. You can get orange ones for nighttime. I
Mm,
feel like that's another layer to that too.
mm.
But thank you for sharing what you shared. Just wanted to circle back to the anxiety. Was that tied up with the insomnia, or was that a whole nother kettle of fish?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I actually did a session with a sleep coach, which is interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So and I felt she was really good because I did a few sessions with a psychologist and he Jungian trained and going into like dream analysis. But when I first saw him, I was kind of like, I get your methods, but like my challenge is I'm not sleeping. So then on those nights I'm not sleeping, I'm not dreaming. So then I found it quite hard. But she really understood it because she was a recovered insomniac. And she was also saying about the fear of wakefulness. So when you're not sleeping, you then go into fear about, oh, like I'm not going to get enough sleep for the next day. And suddenly you start counting the clock and all these things, which actually drive the issue deeper. And then you start, the next day when you're tired, all you can think about is, oh man, if only I had that good sleep, I'd be fine. And then you're driving this belief that I'm a bad sleeper deeper into your brain,
yep.
which perpetuates the problem. So it's like once you're in the loop, it can be really challenging. And so she worked at the level of mind for me. But when I saw her, she was like, "Oh, you're actually showing signs of recovery." It's more, I was hitting what she called speed bumps. So you'd recover, and then boom, you'd have a rough night, and then boom, boom, boom. So, but what I was doing, which she was saying, is detaching even your connection. As much as sleep is important, and you can do the right things, everyone occasionally is still going to get a bad night. And like the more that our mind is trying to force something that it can't force you drive the issue deeper. So it's like actually being okay with the fact you can't sleep. There has to be a level of acceptance
Yes.
and surrender to it, um, which is really challenging when your mind is like, I just want to sleep, and you can't. And yeah, it's been probably one of the hardest yet, in a weird way, most rewarding things I've gone through because it drives things deeper. Like I've gone really a lot deeper into my meditation and my inner work. Like the amount of nights I couldn't sleep, so I was just journaling, writing things down. I was even then, if I couldn't sleep, I was like, oh, let's practice soul connection. And Paul Chek teaches you how to connect with your soul, and you talk to your soul, and you can actually you ask it a question. You say, what does it feel like to receive a yes, or and then you go in silence and you feel your body, and there is an answer.
Hmm.
It is in thank you, dear soul. Can you please show me what a no feels like? And I remember this one night I couldn't sleep and I was just lying on the couch and I just went so deep into that. And then all I remember was it was the next morning. So I went really deep into that soul connection. And then the ironic thing is when you're working with the soul, your mind has to be still. So yeah, that was in a weird way, it's um pushed me to go deeper into myself. And then I just always, I went into prayer and I said, please, help me and guide me out of this as much as you can. And praying knowing that the answer will come because they say Jesus would pray and let go because he knew that the answer would come. there's no doubt there. That's faith, right? Like
Hmm.
faith is the opposite of doubt. So, yeah, now I'm trusting like the answer came in fermented foods because I used to do that a lot. I used to make my own kefir, and with the move and everything, I just haven't been as onto it. But yeah, I just went deeper into it, and it's yeah, I haven't had a rough night since. So even yeah, like I often would even the smallest little bit of anxiety or thought would keep me up at one stage, and I thought, man, my body's so sensitive. Or even if I ate the wrong food or something, and yeah, but now I'm sensing like my gut's a lot healthier, obviously, and when I remember actually years ago a naturopath saying that I will always need a good source of probiotics, probably more than the Joe average, because I was born cesarean and my food I was given as a kid and a baby probably wasn't the best. So then my gut health from an early age wasn't the best, which really sets you up for it can set you up for failure when you're older, hey. That's why it's so important if you've got kids, like feed them the best that you can because we've got a little girl, she's 3, and you guys have seen her. Like, she's a dynamo, hey. Like, she's
Hmm.
so athletic, she's so fit and healthy. And if someone does ever give her something sweet, she doesn't even like it. She can't handle it,
You're not
which is
used to it.
good because we really try to keep her away from that stuff as much as we can. Yeah, she went to a birthday party the other day and they had cake, and I was a bit hesitant, but I thought, "Oh, I don't want to be that parent that doesn't allow her to have anything." So she had some, and she had maybe half of a square, and she's like, I've had enough," which is so good. I was like, awesome. I was so happy because I was like, oh, I don't want to have a sugar high.
Mm.
And but yeah, I think if they're brought up on it, I've seen kids at 1, 2 years old just eating sugary treats and
Macca's.
Maccas and drinking soft drink, and it's
Mm.
like, man, their brain chemistry is going to get used to that from such an early age. You're building that addiction.
A lot of
Um,
people talk about the ADHD and the ADD thing. It has
mm,
absolutely nothing to do with the child's behavior. It has everything to do with what they've been eating,
mm,
drinking,
yeah, yep,
and their screen time.
hmm
That's literally what it is. It is
yep,
no
totally.
other factor.
The gut, yeah. It's like when I was experiencing this insomnia, you kind of get lost in like, oh, who can help me? And I was talking to a functional medicine guy as well who does the check work, and he's like, mate, it's I've actually experienced insomnia, and he said for me it was my gut and then my thyroid. But the gut is always the primary system because everything, all of your hormones is derived from how well your nutrition is and how well you digest it. You can have the best nutrition, but if you're not digesting it, and if you don't have the healthy bacteria to actually, because they often convert certain minerals to different vitamins.
Yep.
So it's not actually all just coming from your food. Like if you have a healthy gut flora, they're creating vitamins in your gut for you. So if you have an imbalance there, yeah, it really can set every single system out of whack.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I paid attention, but then yeah, once I've really dialed this in, it's like it's clicked. And look, touch wood, things continue going well.
Just so you know, that's not wood.
Damn it. I know I couldn't see any. But yeah, I think you can use any challenge or even, call it a crisis or anything in life to actually push you deeper into what I would call the right direction or your soul's direction is maybe a
Yeah.
better way of saying it.
And what you've done is you haven't externalized the power
Mm,
away. You
mm,
haven't gone and rushed into a system, to a doctor, to a whatever.
mm,
You've gone the other way,
mm-hmm,
really, and just gone, well, this is my issue.
mm-hmm.
No thing or no one's going to fix it but me.
Totally.
And if you have that mindset,
Yep.
you don't need those people for really anything.
Yeah. It was a real balance between the fix it mindset and also the surrender mindset. I think
Yeah.
that was the challenge because I've got such a fix it mindset,
Yeah, not
as most males do, and I
mm,
think people in our space do. I work with corrective exercise and you're looking to correct people's posture and their core, and also, you're creating change in a healthy way for people, which is it's a still to some degree a fix it mindset. And I think this year has also allowed me to realize when things aren't perfect, to allow the process and not escape it, to listen and think, okay, what's actually what's it guiding me to do here. Um, and as we've spoken about on other podcasts, coming back to that simple four doctor model, and it's really shown me so clearly every single health issue that you can have from insomnia to um, irritable bowel syndrome to a knee issue has a four doctor model to it. You can't have a knee issue and just focus on the level of the knee because it doesn't work like that. Like a knee issue could actually be like, say, a woman that has inflammation of the uterus, right? So when they have their period, they have very painful cramps, which
Mhm.
switches off the abdominal wall. And when you don't have an abdominal wall, you're not stabilizing your pelvis properly. So then your knee collapses in. So then suddenly you do your 10,000 steps a day with a knee collapsing in. You've got knee pain,
Yeah,
right?
true. Yeah.
So that's a holistic perspective on a knee issue, which has a four doctor model. Because if you actually ate well, you might not have the uterus inflamed.
Mhm.
And if you drink your water, if you go to sleep, go to bed on time, like that's the difference. I think you can is looking at everything with a four doctor model and finding balance within that four doctors.
And for those that are new to my show, I've had a lot of subscribers since you've last joined, Scott, which is great. What is the four doctor model for those that aren't familiar with you and your work?
Mm. So Paul Chek came up with the four doctor model: Doctor Happiness, Doctor Movement, Doctor Diet, and Doctor Quiet. Doctor Happiness is the chief physician because it gives you the dream and the direction for
So is that
everything,
more of an emotional thing?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not emotional. It's deeper than that. It's a soul level.
Right. Even
Um,
better.
because at the beginning, a lot of people's dreams come from their ego, but over time, your dream, I believe, if you do the work, you'll listen to your soul. You can have that understanding. When you were young, you might have had dreams to be the best cricketer in the world
Hmm.
or be the fittest, strongest guy. Like that's
Hmm.
more of an ego
Hmm.
dream, and that's okay. You work with what you got. Over time, you've probably learnt that your dream isn't, that's a very narcissistic dream. It's all about you. Now you're probably getting the perspective that your dream is about others and how you share through your like through your podcast and your coaching. That's where you're going from the archetype of the prince, which is all about you, which you still need to go through, to then going to more the king, which is about your kingdom and how you help your society. Your
It's initiation.
exactly. It's initiation. Everyone has to go through that. Like when I was young, I wanted to be the strongest, fastest guy. I wanted to be, this and
Wanted to
that.
get all the chicks and all that sort of stuff. That's all ego
It's
based,
ego.
yeah.
It's
And
ego. Yeah.
but then if you don't take those proper rites of initiation in a modern world,
Mm,
that's where men fall into the trap and they're stuck in that prince
yes.
little boy mindset.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what's going on today. And I found that even a podcast I did with Jackson Hightower, which I'll link into the show notes of this, talking about all things S3X and all the stuff. But he did say that his modern initiation was going out in the forest with no phone,
Mm,
no food, just a tent,
hmm
and just like allowed his dream to come to him,
mm,
which was then of service to others.
mm.
We don't have to
Yeah.
go to those extremes, but that
Yeah.
was an example of a
Yeah.
modern form of I'm gonna just let all this go and allow what I'm here to do come to me.
Totally. Yeah. It's just a process.
Mm.
You could even go in the forest and think, I'm going to allow this to come to me. And you sit there for 3 days and you're like, where is it?
Yeah.
And it might not come in those 3 days. It
No,
might not come in the year because it'll come to you when you're actually ready for
ready,
it.
correct.
Because I was saying this to my client this morning. I've only actually even been really a person to sort of see the next step or the next year. I've never been this guy to have a 10-year plan. And because I always just had a sense that through my own health issues and my own challenges that I'm going to help other people with that. That's the natural what the wise man does. You can only help people as far as you've gone yourself. I can't help someone beyond where I'm at. I'm not going to help someone become an Olympic, gold winner because I haven't done that myself. I could maybe help them with the balance in their body and get the core right and things like that, which people often dismiss because they're just focusing on the race.
Mm.
But um but even an external way, you can only take people as deep within themselves as what you've gone within
And
yours.
that's I'm going to use a word here that may upset some people, but that's a flaw of the system
Mm,
because you have psychologists and all these other people in this system that are trying to help people through something that they've never lived,
mm.
something they've read in a textbook.
Yes, yes, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
you haven't got that life experience, and that's
No.
that's one of the things I see out there in society today. It's like someone comes to me from this podcast, right? They'll
Mm,
say, Nathan, I'm having some trouble in my marriage. Well, I've never been married, so I'll go, bro, I'm going to handball you to some people that have gone through what you've gone through, or have resources and people that can help you.
mm,
I can't help you through that because
mm.
I haven't lived it.
No.
I can only give you my perspective on what I've lived with my growing up environment household, which will be different to yours.
Mm. But what I've also learned is the things that have helped you may also help situations that you've never been through. So it's not that you actually have to go through marital challenges. It might be that you have learned how to resolve conflict in relationships with people. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
a
correct.
loved one, it could be,
Mm.
your family or whatever. So, the old you might have been reactive, and when someone has a go at you, you go, you, and
Yeah.
and and have a go back. And maybe over time you've learned, like that is the little boy. How does the man respond? Well, the man listens and he grounds and he goes, okay, I'm hearing you, but this is my perspective. So sometimes even though you may not have gone through that exact scenario, the things that you've done and been through may help that person via like
A different way.
sense of being,
Mm,
and I think when I say you can only take people as far as you've gone yourself, it's like how far into your being have you gone um, to go from ego to soul, and or they say from the brain to the heart, right?
correct.
So, if I haven't had every single health issue out there, but generally the fundamentals of good health are the same for everyone. So, as I said, for me, maybe having gut issues has caused insomnia and anxiety, whereas other people, gut issues might cause aching joints or might cause depression.
Mm,
It's like people's symptoms are different sometimes based on their genetics, based on their upbringing, based on so many other
correct.
factors. But the fundamentals of what create real health are generally very similar for everyone. I'm
Mm,
not going to say exactly the same because some people yeah, as I said, I feel like maybe they were born cesarean and had a better diet or were breastfed and had all that. So then they can maybe even tolerate some poorer foods more so than I can. I've noticed I'm very sensitive. The moment I have something that doesn't agree with me, I just I don't feel good at all. Whereas some people seem to be able to tolerate things a bit better, which is a double-edged sword because then they live off it for longer and then boom, they get cancer when they're in their 50s or
yeah,
60s.
exactly. Yeah.
So I think yeah, it's in a way, it's kind of good to be sensitive to your environment.
Mm,
Mm,
100%. And it's also a thing of knowing your body and knowing
mm,
how it functions. Only you know your body.
hmm
You can go and see different people to be experts, but you're the expert of your own vessel. And
yeah,
that's the power we need to take back.
totally. Yeah, that's literally pretty much the whole teaching of the Czech Institute. He says, I'm not teaching you what to think, I'm teaching you how to think.
Hmm.
And you're right, he's teaching you how to listen to your body. When I eat too much meat, how do I feel? If I don't eat any meat at dinner time after a big workout, how do I feel? How do I sleep?
Yep.
You know, as a man, do you wake up with an erection in the morning? Like, are you waking up frequently through the night to go pee? That's a sign of high cortisol or blood sugar issues.
Liver as well.
Liver,
Yeah.
and again, every organ has a time of day where they regenerate. So if you're waking up all the time between, I think it's 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., that's generally the liver.
That is the liver. Yep.
And then, other organs are through the day. If you feel like you're getting anxiety at 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock, or why is that? So, but yes, listening to your body and experimenting. Like I said this to someone the other day, it's like, well, because yeah, we're always looking for the answer from someone else, but it's like, well, she's, you will agree with this, but the dietitian told her stop drinking your 2 coffees a day. She's got like severe stomach issues and diarrhea, and it's like, well, I said to her, you never know until you experiment. Like, cut it out for 4 days. It's not that hard to do. Cut it out for 4 days.
I'd
Generally,
recommend a bit longer, but that's
yeah, but like give it at least 4 days. See if you get a result. Probably, no, I should probably at least say 7 to 12, 7 to 14 days. But
another
yeah.
good piece of advice too, mate, with the gut and stuff too, is fasting.
Mm,
We were hunters and gatherers in ancestral times, in like the old days.
mm,
We would go. 3 or 4 days, maybe a week without eating food because we haven't been able to catch the animal or
Hmm.
catch the fish
Mm.
or hunt for what we need to hunt for.
Yep.
So, we're naturally more inclined on an ancestral level to fast.
Mm.
And I think that what's happened in this modern world is we're all eating too much.
Mm.
And our bodies can't keep up with the amount of food that we're consuming. So for me, the thing I've done the last 3 years, Scott, is that I fast. I won't have brekkie. I sometimes only have one meal a day. Sometimes just depending on how I feel. But I know that I feel so much better when I eat less.
Mm.
I'll eat more during the week when I'm working out and busy with my everyday life. But on weekends,
Yep.
just, I found that I'm lighter, more clearer, and my
Mm.
body and my internal systems are getting a chance to rest
Mm.
and just allow the natural healing process to occur.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's levels we could go into there
Hmm.
because I think there's everyone's different and it's easy to get stuck in thinking, oh, this works for me, so it works for everyone.
But at least try.
Well, what I would say is firstly I think your primal pattern was carb type. Carb types generally can do well with skipping breakfast every single day, whereas high protein types can struggle. This is Paul's book, and I agree from my own experience. I personally, if I'm going to fast, I only do it once or twice a day, once or twice a week.
Yep.
Because and if I've had more stress or those sleep issues, it's actually even more important for me to at least have some protein and fat
Mm.
because I've noticed that obviously when I'm not sleeping, my cortisol is way higher through the night than it should be,
Hmm.
which is my stress hormone, which then when your stress hormones are up, that's a catabolic breaking down energy. So that protein and fat in the morning helps actually calm my nervous system a little bit. Because if I was then to fast, I'm adding more stress. Because to some degree, fasting is like exercise. It's still a healthy stress, but it's a stress on your body, right? Because you're t telling your body, hey, there's no food. If you don't eat for a number of days, eventually you need to eat eventually, right?
Yeah.
There's a basic survival need to eat. So it is a stress. And some people can handle stress, some people can't. Some people can fast for 7 days. Maybe one day is enough for another. So it's one of those things. I do believe that there's more for me to go down with fasting. The most I've done is I normally do supported fasting. So I juice some carrots or beetroot, and I water it down a bit and I sip on it through the day. And I've done that for 6 days straight. That was the most I've done. Um, and I found that to be really good because it just gave my body a little bit of support. Um, and I was able to sleep well. I was able to function really well. I was actually like surfing and feeling really good. Um, and I remember that first meal actually breaking it was like orgasmically good because when you've just had carrot,
Orgasmically good.
well, literally, like you can almost have an orgasm through eating food
You can.
if you haven't eaten it that long,
I've
right?
experienced that. Don't worry.
So yeah, it was like next level. And but yeah, so that's what actually something I'm getting to more is now is juicing and juicing a bit more.
That's the best thing about going long periods of time without something because then you have more of a deeper appreciation for
Mm,
what you're doing. You
yep.
could, for me, I went with people knowing my story. I went without intimacy for like 3 years. But that's the thing. I enjoyed the connection more when I went back.
Mm,
And it's like same with food, relation with anything. If you give yourself a chance to break that,
bond.
no, to attachment to whatever that thing is,
Mm,
you can go back and be like, oh, I really appreciate this more now. And your whole relationship with that thing completely changes. And, I get really excited now with some food that we whip up. And
mm,
yeah, the orgasmic thing is something that is just a given.
totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. But no, you're right. And I actually listened to your podcast last week and you were talking about how most food is emotional connection too. And like
Yeah.
say chocolate, and you might remember eating this chocolate when you were young with your mum or your dad. It made you feel good. So then you think you really need this chocolate, but it's that internal emotional connection to it.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
so I do believe that, and yeah, I'm all on like eating, of course, generally with you can still enjoy yourself a little bit, but to nourish yourself, and having a good balance of protein, fat, different carbohydrate sources, and change it up. Like I like sometimes papaya with my meat or some fruit, especially as it warms up, or in the winter I'll just go almost just meat and maybe a little bit of like veg. I don't go too hard. It just feels natural. I don't like to eat sweet things when it's cold. Um, and in Chinese medicine, that makes sense as well because fat and protein is an insulator. So it warms you up, spices warm you up, broths and soups warm you up. And then in summer, like that's fruit is there to cool you down.
Hmm.
Fruit, tropical fruit, especially sugars and things like that, they cool the body down. So people that are cold all the time, look into your diet,
And hot.
and hot all the time. But yeah, I've noticed it can work both ways. Often people that are cold all the time often have thyroid issues, but they often lack protein and fat. You'll see people, this is the ironic thing, right? So people are often overweight, but they're often undernourished. And it was such a quote that gave it to me, and it's like, it's so true. You might look at someone who's overweight and think, oh, they're just eating too much, but they're eating too much stuff with empty nutrition. So then, your pastries and your donuts and so much stuff that's just generally eaten lacks nutrition. So then they're actually more hungry still because the body's like, well, where's the actual nutrition with that with the food?
Hmm.
So then it's just a perpetual cycle. But when you actually eat nutritionally dense food, you feel satiated for at least 3, 4 hours, right? And
Or longer.
yeah, and
But then
yeah,
if you're undernourished, then you're going to eat more anyway to
yeah.
try
So
and feel
my
full.
my advice would be, of course, firstly eliminate the foods that are what we call dissipatory foods. So like they're dissipating a healthy food, right? So you're eating the donut instead of maybe like an orange
Mm.
with some nutrition in it. You have to eliminate those inflammatory foods that aren't giving you any nutrition. And then you replace it, of course, with something that's nutritional. And originally they probably will eat the same, if not more food or more calories. And their body originally might even put more weight on, but once the body recognizes, oh, it's actually giving me like nutrition, the thyroid will actually start speeding up, the metabolism will actually go up, and then they'll start losing weight quite rapidly. And it's like you don't need to smash yourself at the gym or count calories.
No.
You just eat nutritional food.
There's another layer to it too, mate. A lot of people out there, if you look at people that are a bit slightly overweight, you look at the family environment, mum and dad are overweight,
Mm,
grandma and grandpa are not
mm,
usually grandma and grandpa in these times, but
mm.
actually, yeah, no,
Oh,
well, my generation, grandma and grandpa are pretty fit and healthy, but these
mm,
days, different story. You look back at and they go, well, their nervous system feels comfortable being this way because it's what they're used to.
mm,
So they could do all this stuff but still be overweight because the nervous system doesn't feel safe to be healthy and vital because they grew up in a household that wasn't. So
mm,
you have to do that mindset work as well to ensure that the nervous system feels safe to be
mhm,
able to look and feel ideally the way they want to feel, but there's
mm,
something going on in the unconscious mind that
mm,
stem back to what mum and dad are doing because that's what they're used to. Then you look at people's friendships too,
mm,
they might have friends that are overweight as well because that's what they're used to, right? The
mm,
nervous system feels safe around people like them. We're
mm,
pack animals. So you have to do that mindset and unconscious work as well so the nervous system feels safe enough to be able to look and feel better.
mm. Yeah, I think well, that's then branching more and also into the soul because then
Yeah.
you're saying, well, that's actually like a little initiation of your hero's journey. You have a choice to either just do the same things that your whole family lineage has done over time, which has been to not obviously
Look after
look
yourself.
after yourself, eat drinking too much, not eating good quality food. And often, people don't value themselves enough. Oh, it costs too much money. And it's
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
it actually doesn't. If you eliminate all the ice cream and all the Pepsi and stuff you're buying, you put that money into the good food, It's not expensive.
No.
And then you save money in the long run because you don't need as many pills, doctor's appointments, supplements.
You're actually saving yourself thousands of dollars by
Yeah,
eating healthy.
exactly. But yeah, you're right. But I think there's a part of you that needs to go, you know what? I want to change more than staying at this level. Not everyone's up for that. That's a reality.
That's
Not
exactly right.
everyone is up for that, and that's fine.
It requires a level of patience, resilience, and discipline that some people just
Mm. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I've
uh,
been in those situations when you're young, and I started making different choices when I was 18, 19. I'd be at the family table, and my nan would be like, why are you eating that weird food?" And it's like, it's not even weird. It was like sweet potato. My family's
yeah.
never even eaten sweet potato before.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
so, um, and I'm just sitting there eating a sweet potato rather than, I
Yeah,
don't know,
and it's
whatever
the
it
same for
was.
the young men out there, you know. The uncomfortable thing is walking to a pub with your mates and saying, I ain't
Mm.
drinking tonight. That is uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. You stepping outside of the herd that you spoke of is uncomfortable, but you have to stick at it when you deeply know. I've been in that situation where you say yes and you freaking regret it. And the worst thing, but more than uncomfortable with other people, is when you know you've let yourself down. Like it's the worst feeling. You go to bed and you're like, why did I do that? Why did I drink when I didn't want to? Why did I eat that crappy food when I didn't want to?
People that follow me, Scott,
Mm,
know that the most powerful word in the English language you can possibly say out there to someone that's asked you something, whatever it is no.
yeah.
If we can master the art of using our no, we're
Mm,
using our no when we want to use our no and using our yes when we want to use our yes, take back the power of choice.
mm.
Game changer.
Totally, man. Yeah. So anyone that's actually out there and you're starting your health journey, your hero's journey, and you're living your life based on what you want to do because you've got a goal. Everyone has the hero's journey flash in front of them. It's mythologically true. Like you have the opportunity. It's up to you whether you take it, whether you've got just enough courage to do it or not. I've always believed there'll be more opportunities. I don't think you just get the one,
You get heaps, yeah.
but it's like the universe is like, hey, do you trust me or do you fear? And we've been brought up with thousands of years of fear and karmic energy that holds us back because it's so deeply ingrained into our psyche,
For a reason.
for a reason. But we're at a time now where we almost have to level up, like,
Yeah.
and we have the ability to. We're at the age of information where people like you and I are accessible, and so many people now are learning and have access. My dad talks about when he was young, no one was talking like this. No one.
My dad said the same thing.
And they didn't have a clue what to do when they were 16, 17, and they get the job and they're around people. And it's like that was what, in the 1980s? Like
But
that's
you
not
look at
that
that,
long
but you
ago.
look at that generation of men now,
Mm,
and it's quite sad to see.
But hey, change can happen at any age.
That is
Like
true.
my dad's now getting into like men's work and coaching at the age of
Love
55,
that.
56. And I've had a male client start with me at 85, never trained in the gym before, and he sees me 3 times a week. He's now 87. Like and he's deadlifting, he's lunging, he's squatting, and he's like he is fit and healthy.
Love that.
And like you can make change at any time. Never say it's too late. I actually saw something yesterday saying Ricky Gervais lost his job at 37 years old. He had maybe 3 grand that he got given being made redundant. And he said, you know what? If I live carefully and I give, becoming a comedian a go, then, he gave it a go. And look where he is now. Like he
Mm.
could have just said, you know what? I'm just going to get another job um, and live the real safe way. But he knew deep down he wanted to be a comedian. He got let off the job and he just gave it a go. And I know 37 is not super old, but maybe he felt that was old to get into the. And look where he is now, though. As a comedian, what's he? Probably 50s, and
Mm.
he's one of the most successful comedians to date. So yes, never too late at all. Um, so yeah, anyone listen to this? I always just say get clear on what you want. Even if you don't know a lot, you just have a vague idea, or that you want to be a bit healthier, or that you want to have better relationships with your loved ones, or you just want a better job, whatever that means to you. Try and get clear on that too, because better is a bit vague, but you want a job that doesn't work night shifts, or you want a job that doesn't work for the government, or you just get clear and just okay, cool. This is where I'm at. This is where I want to go. Then you start figuring out how you get there. And if you don't know, you seek answers from others. Like there's always someone that's done it before you that you can ask. You don't always have to pay for advice. Like someone might just give you advice too. Like you'll always get some gems along the way.
Absolutely. And trust, trust yourself, trust the process and trust the journey and trust that you'll be where you're meant to be.
Mm, exactly. Yeah. And then you'll look back and even if over a year you make a small amount of progress, any progress is still progress.
100%.
So, um, yeah, that's my advice for that, mate.
Well, Scott, if there's anything else that's on your chest, on your heart that you'd like to share with my audience, this is your beautiful opportunity to make it happen, mate. To
Um,
wrap this up in a beautiful bow and say, here you go, breaking free listeners and
mm,
viewers, have some
yeah,
of this.
yeah. I obviously am a huge proponent of holistic health and um, but also the balanced way within that, you know. So, like Geordie, your brother makes good homemade ice cream, like, and sometimes enjoying a little bit of something here and there is good. So don't go in the extremes of any
So
direction.
it's probably the healthiest ice cream you can possibly eat.
Exactly. So source, good quality ingredients, no matter
Well,
what.
it's mainly raw ingredients.
Exactly. That's my point is so you can still there's so many things that are made from good quality products that you can make taste amazing, you know.
Yeah, it's just that the
Um,
ice cream in the supermarket probably ain't good for you.
exactly. So get clear on your values, you know, get clear on your values. My values are whole organic foods, pretty much
Yep.
100%. Like unless I'm maybe going out for dinner, you can't always be sure on if they're organic and stuff.
No.
But that's my values there. Make your values with your movement. If you don't prioritize yourself, something will always take precedence over it. So
Yeah.
prioritize, if it's 30 minutes a day for yourself to move and explore your body. As you said, like don't just rely on someone to tell you is what to do. Like explore how something feels in the gym. If you feel intrigued by a different exercise, try it or seek someone out who knows how to do it and can teach you how to do it. Um, and yeah, Dr. Happiness, like find what's happy making for you, have fun, but also the Dr. Happiness is about finding um, something you enjoy as a way of actually earning money. I think that's huge. Like to earn money by doing something you're passionate about is a game changer. Doesn't
Mhm.
mean it's all going to be rosy, like it's going to give you some real challenges, but it's really is worth it in the long run. And give yourself some Dr. Quiet, some rest and some recovery and some introspection, you know. I think,
Get out in nature,
yeah.
go to the beach for
Yeah,
Dr. Quiet.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. We're pretty blessed
Or read a book.
in Queensland that we can do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get some sun on your skin. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't be afraid of the sun.
Yes, get your balls out in the sun, men. I tan naked every single day and I love it.
I don't join you though, so like I no, but yes,
You gotta
doing
get
it by yourself in the
you
backyard.
gotta get the Johnson out. Get the Johnson out in the sun, men. Get it out in the sun and swing it around.
Yeah.
All right, enough of that smart talk, mate.
All right.
Thank you for joining the show again. Thank you for everything that you do, and just thank you for being an awesome human being that's willing to jump on my show at any given time.
No
And
worries.
just quickly, mate, you do run Qigong classes for those that are watching from the Sunshine Coast.
Hmm.
We'll give that a little plug.
Yep.
They are really awesome sessions. I've been going now for 6 weeks, and yeah, it's really good for Dr. Quiet to connect with your body, but also have someone there that's facilitating that really slow, gentle movement. So let's give that a quick plug before you jump off.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. If anyone wants to join us, we're in the park in Baringa, and we get a bit of sun,
Yeah, I got my
and
shirt off.
we stand and breathe. And hey,
Yeah.
again, it's another teacher. Like it's not always comfortable, right?
No,
But it's you're just standing and
I get
breathing.
the real burning sensation through my legs mainly
Mm,
for obvious energy reasons. And yeah, your body, you just got to feel, as you say, breathe through that and feel into that pain rather than just taking the easy way out and just standing up and giving it a shake and just feel into it and breathe into it and
mm.
allow that pain to give you the message is what you always say in those Qigong sessions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's such a good modality. Dr. Movement, Dr. Quiet, all in there.
Yeah,
Get
so
it.
if you're watching from the Sunshine Coast, bring your park Saturday mornings at 7:30.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. If you don't know where it is, so we want more information, just shoot Nathan or I a message.
Yep, righto. Scott,
All
thank you for
right.
jumping on, mate.
Thanks,
Another
Nate.
awesome chat. For those listening and watching, Scott, we will be back on again soon before the year's out. Some awesome guests coming before the year closes. Only 2.5 months to go, mate. So,
Yeah.
guys, we're over and out. Talk to you all again soon. Thank you for listening and watching wherever in the world you may be. And hopefully you find some peace and some happiness and some really awesome advice from this conversation. So, mate, thank you again.
Thank you.
We're over and out. Cheers.